We'll do that. Okay, so everything from this point forward is being recorded as we're still admitting people to the room, to the Zoom session. I believe Rosa will be joining us in just a moment. Hello, Rosa. Welcome. And Carol Anderson is joining us in just a moment.
I don't know how to do that.
Here she is.
Hello.
And Carol, I just mentioned you by name, and I let everyone know that this meeting is being recorded, so you don't have to take minutes. We can have those transcribed down the road, a month or two down the road, but right now we're covered as far as the meeting minutes. So I appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you, Vincent.
For those of you who don't know, on our board members are on this call. Ingrid, I just saw her a minute ago, and there you are. Hi, Ingrid is our first vice president, and if those of you who haven't already heard from her, you will, because she's in charge of membership recruitment, and she's like doing a bang-up job getting the word out to lots and lots of folks, and getting people signed up, and you know, as soon as you're signed up as a senior dem with us at the county level, you automatically, if you paid your dues, are signed up and eligible to vote at the state level, which is really cool. Also on the call is our second vice president, Wendy Wood. Hey, Wendy, and Wendy's going to share a little bit tonight in the meeting about the other hat that she wears as first vice chair of the county party, and the challenge ahead this week, especially for precinct organizing, which is going to be a good part of our meeting. Also on the call is Ruth Darrow, and Ruth is our treasurer, and she's going to give us a treasurer's report in just a little bit. And Carol Anderson, as I just mentioned, who is our secretary. Who am I missing? Am I missing anyone? Did I get everyone on here? Okay. Thank you, everyone. So what I'd like to do is start the meeting, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you are all on mute, you'll be able to join us in the pledge. And I don't have a flag right in front of me or right behind me, but I have one in front of me. You can't see it, so I'm just going to pledge, and I visualize our stars and stripes. So together we'll say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Thank you, Ruthie. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, Ruth, for holding up that flag so we could all see it and pledge to our flag. I'd like to acknowledge a moment of silence for all of the people who have suffered through COVID. It's incredible to think that we're approaching 1 million people lost because of this terrible thing. It's why we still continue to meet online instead of in person. But the good news is that we're trending away from this terrible pandemic. And maybe by May, I'm guessing we'll be able to get together in person, but for right now, safety first. And but let's just take a moment to remember all of those that we've lost. Thank you. We're still admitting people as the meeting is going on. Adrienne Boger has joined us, and Adrienne, you're muted. Could you introduce yourself? And I think Michael Hansen should be joining us in just a second. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Vincent, we sent a link to a friend of ours that wanted to join the meeting, and they're using the link you sent me. That's why it's showing my name.
Okay, I wasn't sure what was happening there. Thank you. Okay, and Michael's Hansen is, oh, I see what that's why we have two Michaels. So does your friend know how to rename themselves?
I don't think so.
Okay, well then we'll just bear and understand that they're watching.
They're already members with you.
They are. Okay, who is that person?
It's Meredith Roper. She lives across the street from Carolyn Anderson.
Okay, if you wouldn't, could you spell that for me? So I'll just rename it right here.
M-A-R-I-D-Y.
I'm sorry.
M-A-R-I-D-Y.
M-A-R-I-D-Y.
R-O-P-E-R.
R-O-T-E-R.
R-O-P-E-R, Roper.
R-O-T like Tom?
No, P like in Paul.
Okay. So bear with me because I'm going to be 75 soon and my hearing isn't what it used to be. Meredy, did I capture your name properly there?
She's on mute. She needs to unmute herself.
You have to unmute yourself if you want to say hey.
You've spelled it correctly. Hi, Meredy. Welcome.
Okay, great. Welcome. And Adrian Boger has
Hi,
joined
Carol.
us.
Hi, Meredy.
We're here.
Great. You and Tina, probably.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
And I see Miss Viola Barrett has joined us, and we haven't seen her since we met in person. Welcome, Viola. Glad to have you on board.
She needs to unmute too.
Oh, yep, she's on mute. You have to unmute yourself there if you want to say hello. Okay. So everyone, the first order of business would be the treasurer's report. Ruth, Darrow, if you could just let us know if we're doing okay. Somebody.
That's me.
Okay.
I'm happy to report that due to a membership surge, we're doing just fine. We started the beginning of January with $381 in the bank. We made 3 deposits of membership money and complimentary donations that totaled $315, which gave us an account of $696.55. We only had one expense coming out this month for postage of $895, and so our balance is $687.60. So thank you, everybody, for joining. That's a big help.
Thank you. I'd like to turn the meeting over briefly to Ingrid now, who's can give us just a report about the membership drive that you've launched and where you're at and what your plans are. Ingrid?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, indeed.
Can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
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 Okay, good. Okay, so what we've been doing is each one reach one. I plan to bring in 100 people, but I always say, you are in charge of bringing someone in also. We need more on board because we need to keep our services and our democracy straight and on the path of right. So that's why we as senior Dems can do that by each one reaching one and keep one in the community in the know about what's going on, who to vote for. We used to have those conversations at our table. Now we don't have anything at the table. I know right now they got 5 Republicans running for the commissioner board. We have not had a Democrat to enroll yet. And then they're going to open the enrollment period soon. So things to think about. That's why we need each one of you to reach one. And thank you for all you do.
Oh, thank you, Ingrid. Your enthusiasm is just incredible, and your organization and getting all these, lined up and getting all the paperwork done that needs to get done for the state. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to where I can't see her here. I'm going to introduce. Where is she? Oh my gosh, did she leave the meeting?
Who are you looking for?
Wendy, where are you? Why do I not see you on the screen, Wendy?
I'm right next to you. Of course, on my screen, it might be.
Oh, okay. Oh, so my eyes are going along with my ears. Oh, this is great.
Away.
Great. Wendy, tell us a little bit about what you're trying to do. You're wearing 2 hats. I know that, but especially the hat that you're wearing for the party and how we can help you and the party to get new precincts up and running.
I will do that. And but first I'd like to, I don't know how many of you know Miss Viola Barrett, who has joined us for tonight. I don't think she hasn't been a member of the Senior Dems, but she is one of the most active Democrats in the county. And almost single-handedly. She did have some help, but just a few helpers, mailed out almost 5,000 letters across Cabarrus County and helped us win those 3 municipal elections that we won last November. So Miss Viola Barrett is a force of nature. People who know her will tell you that when she speaks, people listen. And I am one of those people that listen to Viola all the time. I appreciate her friendship and her guidance and her drive to do the work. So thanks, Viola, for joining us tonight. On the work of the first vice chair of the Cabarrus County Democratic Party, we are in the middle of working very hard to get some additional precincts organized. Last year, we had 25 precincts get organized. It was a very energetic season. That was probably the most precincts we've had organized since I've been working with the Cabarrus County Democratic Party. And we still have 13, or actually 14 additional precincts to get organized. Some of them have like just a handful of Democratic voters in those precincts. I think, I haven't looked recently, but I think the last time I checked, I don't know if it was 060 or 070, they had like 139 Democrats in the precinct. So not a good likelihood there, but quite a few of us have been on the phones, calling people, sending out emails. My very important assistant down there, Andrea Ingber, has been building us the new Mobilize link, which is going to be so much more effective for us, so much more efficient for us. It links directly to Vote Builder. When we get people involved through a Mobilize link, it captures the information, goes straight into Vote Builder, so that the next time we pull up a list of voters that we're trying to contact, it will have telephone number and email address, which is the life's blood of doing the kind of work that we do. So the precinct teams, we are trying to build a true grassroots army of folks that are going to try to increase voter turnout, pull more volunteers in, do the phone banking, do the neighborhood canvassing, write the welcome cards to all the new voters or new Democrats that come into the county, keep our voters informed of, when is early voting, what the new rules are, what the changes are in different precincts, voter schedule, et cetera. There's so much work to do. And other states and counties and, precincts do this kind of work. I think it might be harder in the South. I don't know, maybe that's a myth, but we've got some work to do, and we're building really, really strong teams, I think. So that's my update. And we'd love to have all the senior Dems, if you're not an official member of your precinct, let me make this official invitation to all of you that we'll be doing the precinct organizing through February 19th. So if we haven't caught you by now, we will try to come after you and get you hooked into your precinct. So
thank you, Wendy. So these precinct meetings for the precincts that were already organized are ongoing right now. We're doing it via Zoom. Wendy and the county party were kind enough to let us use their Zoom account and scheduled it out. Precinct 08 held our meeting last night, and glad to report that we are now officially organized again. 07, our adjacent precinct, is not, so they will have an opportunity to get organized on Saturday at 2 o'clock when we have a Zoom call that Wendy has set up. I'm going to go through real quickly the precincts that are not yet organized. 0107 Harrisburg Elementary School, where you vote there. 0201 Elevation Church. 0202 Fur Elementary. 0203 Robinson High School. 0408 Northwest Cabarrus. 0411 Kannapolis YMCA. 13, which is in Cabarrus Shrine Club. 07, I just mentioned, Northeast Fire Station. 0900 Georgeville Fire Station. 1203 All Saints Episcopal, 1208 Hartselle Recreation Center, and 1209 Wolf Meadow Elementary School. So if any of you on this call, or who will get the recording of this call, are in one of those precincts and you haven't yet signed up, we hope that you'll be there for the Saturday meeting at 2 o'clock. If you are a paid poll worker, you're not able to be a precinct officer. However, you can be a precinct organizer.
Yeah.
So I know that I'm believing that right now, I think Ms. Dee Atkinson is joining our call. I'm hoping I just saw her name pop up. So Dee is a paid poll worker. Oh, I didn't get her in here yet, no wonder. I'll wait till
She's on now, yeah.
yeah. So Dolores, if you can hear us, we're volunteering you for something. So if you're not able to be a precinct officer, you can at least be a precinct organizer. And I hope you'll reach out to people. You need 5 people to be organized, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, Wendy, but 5 people to be an organized district. You'll need a precinct chair, a precinct vice chair, and a precinct secretary / treasurer. If you are like I said, if you're a paid poll worker or a paid position, you cannot be one of the officers. However, you can and are a part of the precinct, and you can be a precinct organizer. So Dolores, we were just chatting about you. So if you can help organize your precinct, even though you're not able to be an officer, we surely would like your help on that. And anyone else on the call, Wendy, you have a question, your hand's up.
I'm just looking around at all the faces. Can you guys, if you are a member of an organized precinct, can you raise your hand? Everybody who's a member or officer of an organized precinct, raise your hand. Marty Erickson, where are you? I saw you a minute ago. Vince, you're a member. It's almost everybody. And Ruthie, your hand's supposed to be up.
It is. It's just my camera's too small.
Okay. And how many of you are officers in your precinct? So that's quite a few of you too. Where's Carol? So, so we have good representation, and all of us who just raised our hands want to invite the rest of you to come in and join. We have, people can do a lot of stuff, or people can do just a little stuff. We're all volunteers. So thanks. Thanks, Ben.
So Wendy, if I'm hearing you right, are you asking the folks on this call if they're able to join the meeting on Saturday, to join even though they're not, even though their precinct is organized, they would maybe act as a coach for the precincts that are not organized? Is that your thought?
Yeah, there are a couple of things that are happening. We're still trying to chase down enough people so that if people show up for Saturday, we'll have 5 people. And I'm going to be counting heads tomorrow to see how that is. However, we have until February 19th. Last year, we ended up having a makeup session and having some meetings in between. We had one on the first weekend that we could do it, and we ended up having another one the week after. So we may have some makeup meetings on the 19th. That'll be the last possible day we can organize precincts. And I wish I hadn't said that. In the window of time that the North Carolina Democratic Party gave us to do it, precincts can get organized at any time of the year. If they pull together 5 people, we would go to our chair, Marcus, and he would, we'd send him the paperwork, and everybody would do all the steps that they typically do, and they send it in at another time. It's in the plan of organization. So I don't want to close the window at any time, but this is the official window for precinct organizing.
Okay, awesome. Well, folks, if you look at the newsletter, and I assume everyone on this call got the newsletter, which is how you got information about this meeting, as you scroll down the newsletter, you'll find a link to the meeting that's going to happen on Saturday at 2 o'clock. If you're able to be there, that would be great. we have a guest speaker tonight, and I want to acknowledge her. She's sitting in her car. Pam Escobar is running for school board and was invited to our meeting by County Chair by Marcus Singleton. So Pam, can you tell us a little bit about what you're trying to do and what your vision is for the school board, et cetera?
Yes, thank you, Vincent. So hi, everyone. I'm Pam Escobar. I am a Cabarrus County Schools parent. I have two girls that are in Cabarrus County Schools. They go to Cox Mill Elementary and Harris Road Middle School. And like most parents for the last 2.5, 3 years, I've been watching school board meetings on YouTube and being very frustrated with the way it's being handled. And so I think it's time to get the party politics out of the school board. I think it's time that we really do put the focus back on the quality of the education that our kids are getting, keeping our teachers on board so that they want to actually be there, that they're getting the recognition they deserve, both with compensation, but also with communication and transparency, that they don't feel like they're threatened if they speak up and share what's really happening in the classroom. And then overall, just accountability. I mean, you have a chair who basically of the school board, of the Cabarrus County School Board, who admitted to the media that she didn't know what she's voting on and approving. And so I just think that that's unacceptable. If you are elected to represent the community, you should be responsible for the job. You should have oversight of the staff that's hired, and you should be reviewing everything that's in front of you. She's also said in multiple meetings that she doesn't read her emails, that she doesn't read the reports that are sent to her. So I'm a parent with obviously a lot of concerns about how things are going right now. I have a stake in that community. The other thing is I do live near Concord Mills Mall. My precinct, which is my captain, is Kevin Vincent, who ran for commission before. He's a good friend of mine. Our daughters play soccer together. He and I have been talking about this, but what's crazy is that we have geographically, we have no representation either in county commission or in the school board. So I feel like we're a very powerful group of neighbors that need to get together and organize and change that. So that's what I'm hoping to be able to do, and bring representation both geographically for my area, but also for Democrats who right now only have Keisha up there. And thank God Keisha's there. She's been wonderful. She's been helping me just understand the path that I need to take to get there. I should also acknowledge Cindy, who's on this call. She's been so kind to me. I had the opportunity to talk to her. She's given me advice about what I'm really getting myself into, what's happens behind closed doors when those school boards are meeting, and then also the committees and the budget committee. She's obviously very well versed in how things work, and I'm very appreciative of her time as well that she's given to me so far. So I'm hopeful that this election is going to go well. Marcus has been wonderful. I did get accepted to the North Carolina Institute of Political Leadership. They have it's a nonpartisan group that's based out of Raleigh that helps candidates learn how to campaign, but also once they're elected, be good stewards and work together. So I'm starting that in February 25th. We mentioned the filing period. The filing period, I was not able to file for school board during that week. And obviously, even though it's a Cabarrus County only election, all filing was put on hold due to the district maps. So that's opening back on February 24th. I have every intention of doing it on that day. I just don't want to worry about it closing up again for some reason. So I'll be doing that on February 24th. I do have my committee established, the committee to elect Pam Escobar. I have a website, which is vote for the number 4 Pam Escobar, and Escobar is spelled E as in egg, S as in Sam, C as in Charlie, O, B as in boy, AR.com. So if you're interested in learning more about my background, besides being a parent, I was a news reporter for 10 years in 3 different markets. My last job in news was at WBTV. I was a reporter there from 2013 to 2016. I left that position, and I do work in communications. I was a public information officer for the courts in Mecklenburg County, and now I'm currently a public information officer in Mecklenburg County. So that's my background. Any questions, I'm happy to answer.
What was your website again?
It's voteforpamescobar.com.
And Pam, you're in a car right now, so I'm not sure you're able to do this, but if someone on the call can just go to the chat and just type that in. I can't do it on this computer
I
right
think
now.
I can.
If you can, then, because
I'm not driving.
Oh, okay, we're saving the, the chat will be saved as part of the recording, so that way we'll have that. And everyone will be able to see it. Okay, Andy put it up there. So yeah, you can click on that, and
Yep.
it's also part of the official record now. So thank you.
Thank you. And that's accurate.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so it's a great segue to our next guest speaker. Martin Erickson has some information he'd like to share with you about the status of voting. And Martin, I turn it over to you.
Well, thank you, Vincent. I'll see if this actually goes in the chat also. Today is the first day that you can request an absentee by mail ballot. There's two ways of doing that. You can, the first link that I've just put in there will lead you to a portal where you can request it online. The second link, you can just fill it out as a PDF, print it off, and mail it out to the Board of Elections. As Pam said, filing looks like it's going to be opening on February 24th through March 4th. So at that time, we'll have a lot better idea. Kannapolis School Board, that'll be the final, Kannapolis School Board is elected in the primary. So those people in Kannapolis School District will have the opportunity to vote for the Kannapolis School Board. Then the Cabarrus County School Board is in the fall. And we may, we don't know what districts we're going to be in. That's being redone even as we speak. Although by the next time we meet, we should have that all cleared up, because it's supposed to be final on the 23rd, giving people all of a few hours to figure out where they are before they start filing on the 24th. So the General Assembly is working. This trial court will hear what the General Assembly comes up with, new maps, as well as new maps put together by the plaintiffs if they care to put anything in.
Thank you. Thank you, Martin.
Any questions or any, I would say concerns. I think we're all sometimes concerned, but any questions?
Well, Martin,
Okay,
I have a question that's in the general election. When do we know when these districts are going to be formed? Do we have any idea? And I'm thinking of the NC Assembly 82, 83, 67, State Senate 36. When do we know who's going to be running for those offices, or when they can even apply to run, and what the districts will look like?
Okay, the timeline on that is the 18th is when the maps are supposed to be presented to the trial court of 3 Superior Court judges. They're supposed to rule on it and say what the districts are going to be by noon on the 23rd of February, which is a Wednesday. If somebody's dissatisfied with that, they can file an emergency appeal to the state Supreme Court by 5 p.m. And that may very well hold things up. If there are no appeals, 8 a.m. on the 24th is when people start filing again. They can also, if they've already filed, they can withdraw. There's a possibility some people will have filed in one district and they're no longer in that district. Then as of March 4th at noon, that's when filing closes. And that's when we know not only what districts we have, but who's running for which offices. So But like I say, by the next time we meet, things should be a lot clearer.
Thank you. I'm hoping you'll be able to join us for that meeting too, Martin, and give us an update at that time. So I'm seeing in the chat that Cindy's posting that. Oh, thanks, Cindy. The other Democratic school board candidate that she is aware of is Sam Treadaway. And I thought Sam was going to be on this call this evening, so he might have gotten sidetracked. But for those of you know, Sam, I believe he was an administrator in the school district. And I know that he was the president of the Eastern Cabarrus Historical Society over here in Mount Pleasant for a year or two. So I hope he'll be able to join us on the next call and share information as Pam did this evening.
Vincent, this is Cindy. Sam is a retired school principal. His last assignment was Mount Pleasant Middle School. And since his retirement, he has served as a mentor to other principals in the district. He's no longer working as that mentor, but he was doing that for a number of years. So I think we have two really strong candidates this year. And one thing I just want to share, and Wendy, help me remind Marcus of this, it's going to be really important that we don't overlist candidates on our blue sheet. That really hurt us in 2020, listing 5 names for 4 seats. Those overvotes get tossed.
Yeah, and so I don't know who to address this question to, but how many seats will be open this time around?
3.
3 seats. So we know 2 people that are good, solid Democrats that are going to make a difference in our school district. And if a 3rd one emerges, we'll know that hopefully soon, and we can let that know. So
yeah.
I'd like to interject something here real quick because I want to make sure Cindy understands. I could not take those names off there. That is illegal. I could not do it. I ran that by the state, and I wanted to only put 4 on there, and I was told that I could not do that. So before you're being critical of what was done, I really feel you need to understand that that was not my doing, that was the state's doing.
Yeah.
Okay, I just know in other years, that was my 5th time running, and we never had more names on the sheet than, I don't know how that was decided, but we never had more names on the sheet than open seats. So that was my experience. So thank you for explaining.
Yeah. Thank you, Cindy, and thank you, Bobby, for the clarification. I wanted to go and move on to our membership committee, and thank you, Ingrid, for posting that. To thank everyone on the membership committee, that Judy Hagler and Carol Anderson and Sarah Diebler for all the hard work, and Dorsey Ward, who hand carried 5 to 7 new membership forms. So Dorsey, you get the award this month for getting 5 new people signed up. Thank you, sir.
You're certainly welcome, and I'll be anxiously awaiting my gift in the mail.
Yes, indeed. Then it will be a wooden donkey. I have it already on order. It'll go well on your fireplace mantle. And
I'll put it up there with pride. Thank you, Vince.
You're quite welcome, Dorsey. So if we look at the events committee.
Vince, before you continue, can I, in our previous conversation.
What's that, Rosa? I'm sorry.
But then the question is to Bobby, and I heard you just say, Bobby, that you couldn't take the names off. So is it once you put it on, you can't take it off, or do we have to put on all the Democrats that are running?
I was told if they filed, I had to list them. Now, I can only go by what I was told because I called the state before I even did the blue ballots.
Okay. Good to know. I just want to be clear about how we need to go about this. So good to know. Thank you, Bobby.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Now I lost track of where I was at. Where was I at? my mind here. The events committee. The let's see, Dorsey's on that committee. I know that Mally and Mike Plowman agreed to be on that committee. Before this call officially started, Leroy agreed to be on that committee. Anyone else who is interested in and can help us prepare the agenda for the remainder of the year. I mean, we're in an election year, so obviously we're going to have candidates at our meetings as we did tonight. But there are also other senior issues that we want to address. Some of them are centered around the senior center and the living parks and recreation organization that has all kinds of programs that are available. And I know, Leroy, you have some contacts over there at the senior center, and Dorsey said that he was more than willing to hand the baton over to you if you want to take that. And Dorsey's nodding his head, so with his thumbs up. But we'd like, hopefully, to be able to invite the folks from the senior center to share all of the good stuff that they're doing. They're preparing to actually build a new center out in Mount Pleasant. But right now, most of the activities are geared and centered around the Concord facility, and they are opening that up more and more. So we need to find out what's out there. But as an events committee, we'd also like to see what else you'd like to have on our agenda from month to month to month. So I'd like to take the opportunity, the folks that are on the committee, we'll probably have a meeting sometime in the next week or two. It'll be by Zoom. And if one of you wants to step up and be the committee chair, that would be awesome. So just be thinking about that. I want to take a moment of time here and acknowledge the birthdays. For those of you who've been on this call, you know that it's not all work and business. There's a little bit of fun here. So we have some featured birthdays this month. Richard Ward, Bill Preminger, Melinda Richardson, Dolores Atkinson, who is on this call, George McNulty, Dorsey Ward, who is on this call, Bill O'Reilly, who's not on this call, Gail Hansen, Leonard Jarvis, who was supposed to be on the call and not here, Branda Bowers, and Chuck Thurston. Have I missed anyone's birthday? Is there anyone on this call who we have not? No? Well, then let us all take a moment, and this gets chaotic. So if we unmute ourselves, because we're going to do the typical happy birthday song, and it'll be a cacophony. And at the end of it, and as opposed to calling out each name, we're going to do something that I learned when I was living in Texas, and we're going to say all y'all. Okay.
All y'all.
So here we go. Ready? Okay. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
All y'all.
Happy birthday
to
you.
Oh, dear.
Oh, that was interesting.
We definitely.
That was-
I can't wait to see how that comes out in the recording. That's going to be fun.
That was
Thanks,
awesome.
everyone.
Events. It's
Yes,
Dorsey.
sir. Yeah,
Can I
Dorsey.
jump in just a second?
What's that?
Back to events and senior center. I don't know if folks are aware, but if you are interested in being a competitor or in the Silver Arts in the senior games this year, February is the month to register. So I just wanted to say that I know several of you on the call tonight have participated in senior games. I've seen you. I'll be registering. I haven't registered yet, but if you do want to register, I'll put the registration email in the chat, and you could you've got till the end of the month. Now you can go over a few days, but then your registration fee goes up. So I would encourage you to, if you're interested in any games or the Silver Arts or both, that you go ahead and register by the end of February, and I'll put the link in the chat. Okay.
Thank you, Dorsey. Yeah, if you put it in the chat, we'll also then post it on our Facebook page. For all of you on the call, know there's several ways that we stay connected even during COVID. One is this monthly Zoom call. Another one is our monthly newsletter, which you all should be getting. And the third is the Facebook page, a group page. So we can post it there and then get the word out to the people who were not able to join this particular call. So
Okay.
thanks, Dave. Yeah. Very briefly, Dorsey, can you tell us what some of the categories are in those senior games?
I really can't do it briefly. There's a whole list. If I'll tell you what, I'll put 2 links in there. One is just the senior games, and then the other is the registration. If all you want to do is look at what's available, you could go to the senior games general site, and then if you actually want to go on to register, that link will be in there as well. It's $18, but that fee covers any activity that you want to be in. So if you want to sign up for 30 different activities, which I know some people do, it's $18 either way.
Okay, wonderful.
Right.
So if you can put that in the chat, and we'll be mindful of that.
Okay,
Great, thank you, Dorsey.
sure.
Can I say something?
Who's that?
This is Meredith Roper speaking. Next week starts our next session at the senior center. I teach Tai Chi there, but there are many classes at the senior center. And if you go on to their active living in parks, you can register. But it starts next week, the new session. New people are always welcome if they want to learn shag or they want to get stronger in other activities like silver strength. There's yoga. There's many things you can do at the senior center. Just come in and join us. It's a great place to meet other people.
Well, thank you, Meredith. I know my wife is a regular over there. She does line dancing on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think Tuesday.
Tuesday
with,
morning.
with Peanut, right? So,
Yes.
yeah. And I think your Tai Chi class, Barb Baker, I believe, is in your class. So I know she hasn't been there in a bit because of COVID, but yeah, great resources. And my hope is that when we do meet in person again, April or May or sometime, that maybe our first on-site meeting, in-person meeting, could be in the large room at the center. And that's one of the things I'm hoping that we can hear from Teresa about and see if that's available to us. Until such time as we can go back to a restaurant, which right now is not probably a very safe thing to do with, with a food line and all the rest of it. I wanted to share that in the newsletter, you'll notice we're starting a new feature this month, and that is a Book of the Month Club. And Dorsey and I were talking about this early, and Wendy and I were talking about it. The book that we selected this particular month was 1619. I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about the book, except that it's an excellent read, and it gives you a little bit about the history of our country that most people don't even know about. And I'm not going to spoil it for you. If you go to the newsletter and you click on the link, it'll take you to to an Amazon site where you can read more about the book and the project. This is Black History Month, and I know that toward the end of the month, several of the women on this call are going to be participating in a project. And Bobby, not to put you on the spot, but I am. Can you tell us a little bit about that event that you guys, ladies, are going to be hosting? Oh, Sophia, you're holding up the book. You read it. Okay.
My granddaughter gave to me.
Yeah.
I got it as a Christmas gift, and I also got the book Born on the Water by the same author for Christmas from her. She's a publicist, so she gives books. And I'm reading it now for Black History.
Yeah, it's just an incredible read, and stuff that we are not learning in our schools and in our history classes. So again, I'll zip up and not say too much more about that. But Bobby, are you the one of the lead people in the event that's going to be held later on this month?
No, sir. Finally, I got out of something.
Do you know who is running that? Because I saw
Betty Stocks is operating, or she and Wilma Means are co-chairs.
Okay. Okay, and so it's in celebration of Black History Month, and it's celebrating the women who have held political office or run for office, as I understand it, and made a difference one way or another in Cabarrus County. So that, is it open to the general public? Do you know much
Yes,
about
sir.
it? Okay.
I don't have all the details, but it will be open to the general public. I'm hoping that they'll have something out within the next couple days.
Okay, so hopefully we can.
They had a meeting. They had a meeting this week, so I'm sure they'll have something coming out shortly.
Perfect. If you hear, but I heard about it from you, that's why I picked on you. So if you hear something before I do, if you could just forward it to me, and I'll make sure
I sure will. I'll make sure you get it.
Thank you. So for those of you on the call, if you have a favorite book, the only criteria we have is that it has some bearing or relevance to the political process. And we'd love to hear your recommendations after you've read the book, of course. There's one that we're exploring right now that talks about the foundation of the Second Amendment. We all know that our Republican, I don't want, anyway, people on the other side of the aisle are big on one issue voting, right? We've seen this time and time again. And so, especially, around here, guns is a big thing, and they're always talking about Second Amendment rights and, right to bear arms and all the rest of it. There was actually a book that talks about the genesis of that amendment, and it has nothing to do with individual rights to bear arms as we understand it. It has everything to do with a well-regulated militia that could keep insurrections from happening, slave insurrections specifically. If you get a chance, we'd like to explore several books that can help us understand the broader issues and then synthesize them down to a conversation where we can counter the talking points that our opposition parties seems to always try to beat us over the head with. And we know what they are. They're going to take away our guns. They're going to talk about pro-choice decisions. So we just can't fall into this trap anymore. We have to figure out a way to be educated ourselves, to know the real history behind the talking points that they seem to whip out every election cycle, and then counter them with reason. Because I think if we do that, if we counter them with reason, we can maintain our democracy. And we on this call are seniors, most of us. So we've seen a thing or two, and we know how some things don't end well and other things end very well. So let's
Thank you.
keep it going.
Yeah, I sign.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Leroy, you were saying something. Okay.
So somebody came to visit us. I apologize.
Gotcha.
Well, I should have had it on mute. Sorry.
Okay. So for the order of business, is there anything that anyone else wants to bring up that we possibly have missed during the course of the meeting? Because I like to try to keep us on track, and we're about 8 minutes away from the witching hour.
Listen, I had something when you get to me.
Ruth, go ahead, Ruthie, your hand's up.
Y'all were talking about the senior citizen. I've got a flyer on my phone. I'm going to figure out how to send it to you. I'll text it to you, Vince. Maybe you can send it out at that Senior Citizen Center on March the 9th. It's Wednesday, March the 9th from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're having a Wellness Rocks free event. It's like a senior health and wellness expo. I've been to it before. The Tai Chi class, Madeline Philman, they'll probably do an exposition of Tai Chi, and I've done Tai Chi for about 5 years, so I may help with that. They'll have vendors and sponsors and different booths to go to. It's on Wednesday, March the 9th from 10:30 to 2 p.m. at the Cabarrus Arena.
Perfect. Thank you, Ruthie.
Welcome.
Rosa, do I see your hand up, or is that from before?
Nope, that is recent. in keeping with Black History Month, and I would like to abolish that and just have Black History all year long. But anyway, there is on PBS, there is a series of Reconstruction, America After the Civil War. That is absolutely excellent. So if anyone has PBS, I would encourage you to watch it. And the 1619 Project, you can listen to it if you have Audible.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, that's how I absorbed that book on Audible. It's just incredible. Yeah.
Because it is very long.
Yeah. Yeah. But it, yeah. Well, everyone, if there is no new, oh, Ruth, you have a question? Your hand is up, Ruth Dara.
Yes, I was, yeah, excuse me. This is adjacent or injunction or conjunction with the events committee. We were going to try as a group to identify maybe 3 things that we want to be able to accomplish as a group and set those as our bar and have all of our events, whatever event we decide to do, whether it's the Blood Mobile or whether it's this media thing that I've talked about, all of our events should help propel our major reason for being. I can't think of what that word is now. Our objectives, our main objectives as senior Dems. And we kind of talked about it among our core group of board members, but I'd like to open it to the whole group to kind of express what we're talking about as our objectives and see what kind of feedback we get.
Yeah, Ruth, do you have those right in front of you? Because I took notes and I don't have them in front of me, those 3 items.
One was to disseminate information and educate seniors about the Democratic Party and how it's good for seniors to vote for Democrats age 50 and above. And I think that was part of our mission, is to educate the public and especially focus on seniors. The second thing, what was the second thing?
He was going like this.
Oh, to provide services or events that give Democrats a good reputation in the community, like hosting a blood mobile. And while we're having that blood mobile, we can promote the Democratic cause. There's nothing wrong with combining a little bit of promotion and branding with our events. And I can't remember what the third one was.
Well, I will revisit those notes and get them out to everyone. But that second one certainly would be in line with the county party's do good mantra right now. So I think the proper place would be for the events committee when we get together as a committee to bring those 3 top line objectives to them. And so they can then frame all of the activities we're going to have from March through December.
Don't we have to have a vote of all the membership to ratify those 3 things?
Well, no. First things first, you have to bring it to the membership committee and have them agree that those are valid, and then bring it to the membership committee, probably by our next meeting, Ruth. So that would be, that'd be the goal.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Well, if there is no other new business, I really want to thank everyone for being here at 7:58, 2 minutes to closing time. I know that it takes, you're taking time out of your busy days and busy evenings. And this is as we're ramping up for the elections and precinct organizing and everything else going on. Thank God for Zoom. That's all I can say. It's a mixed blessing, a 2-edged sword, but we can still gather, thank God, and we can still try to make a difference. So thank you everyone for being on the call. I'm going to end the.
I think Ruthie is trying to show us something.
Ruthie's trying to show us something.
This was JB Roberts' donkey. Some of y'all seen these before. When they're cleaning out his stuff, they found this, and of course they gave it to me. It sits in a
Okay.
prominent place in my house. It's so cute. Y'all probably seen this. I don't know when these things were popular, but it's pretty old.
It's.
Don't you love the big mouth?
I love the teeth. That's all I can say.
It's
Well,
cute.
that's the Democrat donkey. So
We'll take a bite out of that elephant butt, right?
really,
Okay.
good point.
Oh, goodness. Well, everyone, I thank you all for being here, and we will see you next month. Keep an eye on the newsletter, keep an eye on the Facebook page, and have a great evening. And hopefully we'll see some of you on Saturday at the precinct organizing for the new precincts.
Thank you.
Bye.